Good evening. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Medlink Students, and thank you for joining us tonight. You know, we will always strive to fulfill the dream of becoming qualified doctors and dentists. And tonight, we're really excited to share with you all the information that you need to start your medical or dental journey abroad. So the video you just saw was some students actually doing some practical classes in one of our universities in Europe, in Tbilisi, which is Georgia. And we're so excited and really proud of them in the work and the journey that they've come. And we hope that tonight you will also be inspired by their journey and their stories. And so this is why tonight we've invited quite a lot of the students to share their experiences and their stories with you, and hopefully you can take that journey too. And my name is Edmund. I'm one of the student advisors here, and I'll be your host for the evening. Now, what we really love about what we do is really learning about your stories, your hopes, your dreams, and we've helped thousands and thousands of students who have gone out to do great things and come back to their home countries and in the UK and are practicing as doctors and dentists. And we want you guys to come in tonight and have the same kind of inspiration so you can go out there into the world and become doctors and everything that you've dreamed of. Now, during this webinar, you'll learn about all the opportunities that is available for you abroad. And if you have any questions at all, just leave them in the Q&A section and our team will be going through them. We'll also have some time for you to be able to answer some live questions. Now, without further ado, I would like to present our speakers for tonight. So we have invited a few of our expert advisors from the likes of Tom. We also have Osman, who's also a student as well studying abroad. And we also have Dana. And joining us tonight as well, we have our admissions head, Victoria, who will be talking about the admissions requirement and how we can get your application into the highest possible chance of getting accepted. And also we have our students who are here tonight to talk about their experience. Now, with every organization, there is a story and where we started from. And this is the struggles of the likes of Dr. Sam, who basically couldn't get the opportunity to study abroad in the UK. So he went abroad to study. Now, to tell you more about how we started our journey and how we've managed to build a family abroad, I'd like to invite Osman to tell you a bit more about our journey and our story. Osman?
Thank you, Edmund. Welcome everyone. We're really excited to have you all join us today, and especially our superstars, our students always, because we always are very proud of our work because our students are the ones that make us proud. It's our students' own success that brings us success and happiness. So thank you for that introduction. So I want to tell you all a brief overview of Medlink Students. We are an organization set up by doctors, dentists who were previously medical students, dental students. We work with students to support potential future doctors like you who are watching this webinar today, to guide you and help you make a decision, an informed decision on what's best for you and your future and how we can help you. We present to you the opportunities, we tell you what is there, and it's up to you to decide on what's best for you. Medlink Students was started many, many years ago as a small organization, and it was me and Dr. Sam who started it. We worked very hard to present the opportunities because we came to Europe. We found there was so much opportunity here that we couldn't find in our home countries. We found that students were struggling to find opportunities that were good for them in their home countries, maybe because of tuition, maybe because of competitiveness of entry. And that helped us to decide to set up this organization to help future doctors. And we're really proud to see that in only a few years, we became the leading organization for students who trusted us based on the information and the support that we provided them. We've put boots on the ground. Many students have successfully come to Europe, been supported by on-ground teams in the universities, and then graduated and went back home. And we are so proud of those students. And we'd be proud as well to call you one of our students one day as well. Once you come to Europe, graduate, go back home, work as a doctor. This is what makes us proud. This is what keeps us going every day and working extra hard. We have expert advisors, all who are experts in their fields. They can tell you exactly what opportunities are available where and how to get accepted. We support and work. Everything we do is around the students, you basically. So everything that we will do, everything that we will say today, as well as also all our work in the future, will be tailored towards supporting you and making sure that you're going to have a fantastic experience. I can't promise that you're not going to have issues or problems going abroad. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. When I came abroad, it was tough, but we will streamline and facilitate the process for you to make it as easy and as simple as possible, to make things easier on you, your parents, your families, and allowing you to pursue what you love. All right, back to you, Edmund.
Thank you so much, Osman, for sharing that. And obviously, as you were saying, we are here to give you all the information that you need to make the informed decision. Because we know some of you who are here tonight are still not sure about what to do. You're not sure whether to even go abroad. Some of the parents here, you're worried about safety of your child going abroad. And so the reason why we've done this webinar is to really give you an idea, an overview of making the right decision for you, because we're here to support you every step of the way. Now, a lot of students are still who are unsure about going abroad. It's a big step. We understand that. And it does have its benefits. Plenty, of course. And to tell you more about the advantages of really going to study abroad, I'd like to invite Dana, who's one of our expert student advisors, who's going to tell you about the benefits of studying dentistry and medicine abroad and how you can benefit from them. Dana?
Yes, hi, Edmund. Hello, everyone. It's very inspiring to see so many students joining us. Thank you for joining. And also a big thanks to our future doctors who are currently studying medicine abroad, who volunteered to join today to share their experience with you. So I'm very sure that this webinar is going to be really beneficial for all of us. Today, I'm going to discuss with you the advantages of studying abroad. There are so many advantages with you going to study in Europe. One of them is unlimited university applications. As opposed to only 4 universities in the UK to apply to, in Europe, you can apply to as many universities as you want. So you have the opportunity to apply to several options, as many as you want in different countries. Another advantage is the less competition in Europe. In Europe, you will be competing with the international students, not with the local students. Local students, usually all of them, they apply to in the same country, while international students is a less number of students because some apply in Bulgaria, some in Poland, some in Georgia. We're going to be seeing students from these countries today and talking to them and listening to their experience. Another great advantage that I find very beneficial is international student environment. You will get to meet students from every corner of the world. You'll meet students from Asia, Russia, UK, USA, from all different cultures. And it's quite exciting to see these students from different countries, hearing their experience, etc. So, Christina, could you tell us what attracted you to study abroad?
Hey, yeah, so I have a previous degree in medical sciences in South Africa, and I wanted to study medicine, but the only options available to me were either start from year 1 all over again, and I didn't really want to do that, so I went online and looked up about graduate entry in an overseas university, and Medlink popped up, and I spoke to Edmund, our lovely advisor, and he told me all about the opportunities of studying abroad, and what really caught my eye was the fact that you get to have an international experience while still being a student, which is not something that a lot of people are lucky enough to have. So I really thought that expanding my horizons, having new experiences while still pursuing my dream of becoming a doctor would be something that would be very beneficial, not only to my professional life, but also my personal life. So I really thought that was a really, really appealing point of studying internationally. Now that I am an international student, what has kept me as an international student is all the experiences of meeting so many people from different cultural backgrounds, different age groups, different life experiences, and learning through them, as well as having education taught to you from a different standard than what you're used to in your home country. So it really helps you grow as a person. Also, I've never experienced snow before, and I got to experience snow here, so that was cool. And also just doing something new and something different. Studying back home, you know, we can all fall into that monotonous rut of being in a place that's comfortable, something that we know. So if you want to push yourself and grow as an individual while following your dream, then I definitely recommend looking at studying abroad.
Fantastic, thank you. I remember speaking with you, Christina. Obviously, I remember your dad also wanted to come and see the place, and I think you enjoyed, you know, having to travel to see the university. Would you recommend students who are still kind of unsure, nervous about going to a place to, you know, book a flight? Obviously, now we have COVID, but would you still recommend students to, you know, go out there with their family and see it?
Yeah, so I was obviously in my final year of my degree in 2019, so before good old COVID came along. But I remember it so distinctly. So we were obviously been in communication with you for a long time, and my dad was like, well, we need to make sure that this place is legit. And I was studying for my final anatomy exams. If you don't have the financial means to do that, it's not necessary. Like, there's so many people now that are in overseas universities that you can reach out to, which we didn't have back then because I don't think it was as well known, like all the forums. For example, we have Amy Anna here, who is a YouTuber and documents her life in Nipro. We also have YouTubers from all over Europe as well. But I do think that, like, if you do have the financial means and you want to come take a look at the university, then it is a good option to like settle any of your questions. And it was also a nice excuse to travel internationally because obviously from South Africa, it's quite a journey. So yeah, I definitely recommend it if you can do it. But if you can't, then use other means to verify like your questions. Reach out to people on YouTube. There's student forums that you can also talk on. And yeah, I definitely think there's a lot of accessible information out there. So make use of it.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Christina, for sharing that with us. And as you said, and also Dana said, there's so many advantages and benefits really of you going abroad. And we can't wait to meet you guys abroad this year. And also we've seen that the Q&A section is blowing up with a lot of questions. So keep them coming. We're here to answer all of them for you. And you will get the time to also ask some questions on the webinar as we go live. Now, the state of the medical education or the applications in the UK. We do speak to a lot of students. Now, last year, there were almost 30,000 UCAS applications. That's a lot of applications with over 9,000 seats. And so with that increase, this means that a lot of students aren't given the opportunity to study in their home countries. We speak to students from the US, Australia, from all over the world, and they have the same. So with this in mind, we had, you know, last year we had a lot of students that had, you know, 3 A's in their A levels, and some students who might not have the opportunity to do A levels, maybe have a vocational one, and they're still not given the opportunity. And some will keep reapplying, and it kind of becomes a vicious circle. So this year, what we've noticed actually, a lot of the universities are just looking at specific things like the UCAS, the GAMSAT, and the UCAT. So a lot of the universities won't be able to look at that. And they will be looking at things like you having a good interview, any personal experience is going to get very, very competitive. And so this leads students to kind of sort opportunities abroad. And that's where we come in. And so we are here tonight to ensure that you can have an opportunity abroad and still pursue your dream. Now, the medical and dental courses are similar to the ones in the UK or everywhere you go to. These are the preclinical years, which are the theoretical years, and then you've got the practical years. And to tell you more about how they break down, I'd like to invite Tom, who's one of the expert advisors who speaks to students daily about how the courses works in Europe. Tom?
Yeah, thank you, Edmund. So yeah, with regards to the medical courses in Europe, it is very similar to the UK. Now, one of the key differences that you'll see there is that it's actually for 6 years rather than the 5 in the UK. And that's because you're doing a slightly different degree. So in Europe, it's known as an MD, which is a Doctor of Medicine, rather than the UK's MBBS. And as you can see here on the slide, it's typically split into 3 years of mainly theoretical. Now that will have still lots of practical elements, but it's mainly focusing on the theory. And then you've got 3 years of practical. Now this is when you're going to be mostly in the hospitals, doing the rotations, working with the patients. Now I wanted to ask a student that I'd helped last year, Ether, if she'd be able to tell us a little bit more about her experience with studying the medical education. Now this is because she'd done a degree previously in the UK. Ether, are you available to tell us a little bit more about that? No, possibly not.
Yeah.
Oh, you're there. Perfect.
Yeah. Okay. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Okay. I came into Georgia from the United Kingdom and I did my BSc in human anatomy, but that was in Nigeria. So I was really wanting to study medicine abroad. So I came to some agents and in UK to study medicine, but it was quite expensive, but it didn't work out. So I had to enroll for a master's degree program for biomedical engineering, totally different from my path, what I wanted to do in UK. But I just had to do it. It was expensive, but it was just, I told myself, okay, let me just do this course and let me not just waste 1 year. And then along the line, I just had to start working on my admission. I had to apply to different universities in the UK. They were giving me one excuse or the other, and the tuition fees were high, expensive as an international student. And then the minimum was £38,000 per semester, per year, sorry. And I was like, wow, this is too much. And I just, all of a sudden, I bumped into Medlink. I also saw other agency, but I think I was very much comfortable with Medlink. And then I decided to pursue my degree, my medical degree with Medlink and in Georgia. And Georgia has been so nice. I mean, I stayed for my 4th semester, 200 level, probably. And Georgia has been so cool, it's safe. Everything with Georgia has been nice, and Medlink really helped me. I don't think there's anyone that's actually disturbed the staffs in Medlink more than I've done, because every now and then I stayed from Tom down to Valentina. I was asking them random questions, even the ones that I knew I could actually find by myself, but I just wanted them to be involved in every step, by the way. And I was not skeptical about studying abroad, but at the point I started being skeptical, and I was a bit anxious of traveling to leaving UK to Georgia, to another different country entirely. And I was asking myself, how would I cope? But I would advise you, and I would encourage you, that the first thing to everything is just take the first step. And then when you take the step, you'll be more comfortable along the process. So when I got here, I had another staff pick me up from the airport. My journey was smooth. I even settled down that same day. I had an accommodation, everything was just okay. And it really helped me to speed up my my course, my study process, and it has been good. I mean, there was no hindrance, there was no breach at all, and the students are really friendly. The study process is really favorable to students, and I can tell you. And if you're talking about the cost in Georgia, I can surprise you that you can actually pay your fees in installments, and they won't even disturb you. And then secondly, the lecturers and the management entirely, they are really friendly, and they would actually organize the study process as it suits you, just so that you can actually do well. I mean, everything has been okay, and it has been nice. And I think recently I also met another student from Medlink that which he came down from UK too, but he actually stayed late. And as at then, we had already finished some quizzes and we are preparing for examinations. But I can tell you that he's scoring not less than the people that actually started, because honestly, I see Medlink students as family. So I had to put him through, and then we did some courses together, and we did revisions together, and he's getting good grades. And I can assure you that he's getting good grades. So I'm actually waiting for somebody there listening to me. I'm encouraging you, take the first step, and then when you come to Georgia, you would meet us as family, and then I think everything will be all right. Thank you.
Wow, Esther, thank you so much for that. And I think a lot of the students here, we hope that this inspires you. One thing that we get as well, Esther, might be a question for you is, I know we know where you're studying, but could you let the guys who are listening and watching tonight know the university you're studying at?
Okay, I'm currently studying in European University, Tbilisi in Georgia. So I'm there. I'm waiting for you guys. When you come, you meet us up, and then we just start up.
Fantastic. And how has the diversity been for you there?
Oh, wow. I mean, we have a lot of international students from different places, Jordan, Indian. I mean, we have diverse kinds of students, and when you come, you would meet your likes too, and they're really friendly. I can tell you that. I cannot overemphasize that fact that everyone here, they are really friendly, and I mean, they just want to help you the best they could. I mean, yeah.
That's fantastic. And one more thing for you, Esther, before you go. And I know a lot of students from the UK or who have studied in the UK are a little concerned that the education wouldn't be, like the UK, or they wouldn't get a good quality. How have you found this?
Okay, if you're talking about the standard of education, I can tell you it's superb. I mean, it's no less than what you would actually get from the UK, because I actually did master's degree, which is a bit higher than when you're getting a bachelor's degree. And I can tell you that from what I've seen and from the exams and the midterm quizzes I've written here, the examination process it's not different from what I've gotten from the UK. The quizzes and the questions too, they are no different. The standard is really high. I can tell you and I can assure you that it's really high. It's more like it's the same as if you're doing a master's degree in the United Kingdom. Just it's really high. It's not about the fees. Yeah, the school is really cheap, but I can tell you that the study standard and everything is super.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Esther. We can't wait to see you graduate and come back to the UK and start working. Thank you so much. Now, on to the next one. Now, let's just say, you try in the UK or your home country and, you're not able to get in, and then you take up clearing, you take up another degree. Now, you might go take up a Bachelor of Science, be like something Amy did or Esther did. And then you go do a 3-year course, and then you decide to apply for graduate entry. Then you have the same stumbling block where you're not able to apply to a school in the UK because of competition. So we also have the opportunity for students like that to take up graduate entry, where they're able to go into a course, maybe it's 6 years, but the universities recognize what you've done before, and then you transfer. Now, maybe you've done a biomedical science degree. So this reduces the time that you spend abroad. You could end up doing 4 years, or maybe 4.5. And to tell you more about the graduate entry courses for medicine and dentistry, I'd like to invite back Dana, who also deals with students who do graduate entry. Dana?
Yes, so graduate entry is one of the most common routes that students follow. Students who previously earned a degree that's related to science, just like you said, nursing degree, biomedical science, biology degree, any degree related to sciences that we can equivalate some of the subjects that they have studied, they can join the graduate entry to make the course shorter. So instead of studying for 6 years, they can join year 2, they can join year 3, and some students might be able to join year 4. What counts is the credits that they have studied in their previous degree, and work experience can also help reducing the years of study. Graduate entry can be joined in medicine and in dentistry. Best part about it is that we do have options where you can join graduate entry with no entrance exam, just having your A levels or BTech, your just high school qualification and a transcript from university. So your bachelor's degree and a master's, of course, can help. So you can join the graduate entry. You won't have to do an entrance exam. And I think Amy would be very suitable to tell us about her experience in that. Can you tell us more, Amy?
Hi guys, I'm Amy. Thanks Medlink for inviting me to this seminar today, and thanks for joining us. So I originally planned on doing medicine in the UK. So at 18, I did the whole procedure, UK CAT, applied, did get an interview, but UK CAT score brought me down. Anyhow, ended up doing medical biochemistry, University of Leicester, which was great. Lovely course, enjoyed it. No regrets there. And then I took a gap year, and during which COVID hit. And really, I just thought about my long-term career choices and what opportunities that I wanted to take and have. But I'd lived in my gap year, I traveled a lot. So I wanted to combine my passion for medicine with studying abroad. So I decided to look at my options and found out how affordable Eastern Europe was, especially with low financial abilities. So applying for the graduate medicine course was super easy, because I do have a first class in medical biochemistry. But so to apply the graduate entry, you just need an undergraduate degree, and obviously then Medlink help you look at your A levels, your GCSEs and everything. They put that all together and figure out if you're suitable, and then you apply. And really then it's just about like picking a university suitable for you. So I'd say it's so much easier process applying for graduate medicine abroad compared to medicine in the UK, which was such a long process, personal statement, finding experience when I didn't have the contacts, sorting out financial aid and everything like that. And graduate medicine has literally been a breeze to apply for and everything. And really, no regrets. I'm so happy that I chose to do it. And now I'm on the road to being a doctor, while also being able to live abroad. So I've got both the aspects of what I love about life at the moment, traveling, experiencing a different culture, and also studying the subject that we all know and love. So yeah.
Thank you very much, Amy. I appreciate your feedback and experience about this. So not only we help students join graduate entry for medicine, we also help you with transfers. Can we please have the transfer slide? Thank you very much. So with transfers, if you find yourself in a university that you're not happy in, we can help you transfer. It's not a problem. Not all universities accept transfers. So it's very important to come to us to check the options that accept transfers, and we can guide you with it. Usually when it comes to a transfer, we look at the ECTS credits. That's what counts, because we calculate the ECTS credits and the minimum hours. They are calculated to make the transfer possible. And usually transfers are possible up to third year. So that's why we always recommend for transfers, it's always best to come to us, speak to an advisor. We can take a look at your transcripts, at the credits that you've studied, compare them to the syllabus of the university that you're transferring to. So we can advise you which option could be best and which year of entry you can get. Back to you, Edmund.
Thank you so much for that, Dana, and to Amy for your experiences and the knowledge you shared so far. Now, another thing as well, I know we've talked about medicine quite a lot. I'd like to invite back one of the student advisors here, Tom, who also speaks to students about pursuing dentistry. And he's going to share with you guys the structure and how it breaks down and how it compares to the UK and other countries. Tom?
Yes, thank you, Edmund. So again, similar situation as how it is with medicine. It's a slightly different degree in Europe. So it's known as a DMD, which is a Doctor of Medicine in Dentistry. So similar to the MD qualification, it's got a heavy focus on the clinical side of things. So you'll be doing a lot of clinical experience. You will be working with your own patients, and you'll be going through and doing everything that you need to be doing throughout the degree. Again, it's going to be the first half of the degree that's going to be focused on the theoretical aspects before you move into the clinicals, but you will still be doing a lot of practical lessons, a lot of shadowing and aspects like this during the initial years. I wanted to ask Akaf, who, congratulations, has recently completed his dentistry program in Bulgaria. Akaf, can you let us know a bit like sort of how you found the degree and how you got on with it in the end?
Good evening, guys. My name is Dr. Akaf. I recently graduated this October. Yeah, it's a 6-year degree in Bulgaria. I pretty much enjoyed every minute apart from the first few months. But obviously, when you're in a new country, you need to get used to it. Look, I'll give you a quick quote here. If a lot of people generally think that education in Bulgaria is not as great as the UK, but I've heard, I went to a course in King's College, so you go to various courses as part of your CPD, and when you're going to join the register, and yeah, and the head of King's College was at this course, and he was saying that what we learn in Bulgaria, I was giving examples of what we learn, is a lot more than what they learn in the UK right now. So dentistry in the UK has been dumbed down compared to Eastern Europe, where you pretty much learn every single thing that you need. Yeah, so the first 3 years are generally theoretical. Your last 3 years are clinical. I studied at Plovdiv in Bulgaria, which is the second biggest city. The facilities specifically there were better than, for example, my closest dental uni, Leeds, were better than Leeds. It's probably the best dental uni in the whole of Bulgaria. Like I said, some of the teachers there are outstanding. Whenever you need help, they're always there for you. I could remember one professor by first name. Her name's Neshka Mancharova, and she's very helpful, even till this day. If I have any issues or anything like that, she's there to help. Yeah, so in terms of Bulgaria itself, it's a DMD, which is actually a better standing than most sort of dental the dental qualification you get in the UK. It's on par with the American version. Yeah, and then in terms of the sort of lifestyle in Bulgaria, look, I miss it. I've been back 3 months now permanently, and I miss every second. So guys, it'll be the best choice you'll ever make. You'll make friends for life. Yeah, the weather's fantastic. The culture's amazing. The food is better than your book standard British food as well. So yeah, look, if you're on the verge of sort of picking, let's say, a British uni or an Eastern European uni, or even if you don't get in, do not take the gap year out. Honestly, I'd say just go in there straight away. Probably the best choice you've ever made. I've got, for example, various contracts coming through now. And there's one thing I would like to say is, as an EU graduate who's done dentistry, you will get better contracts. And I'll give you a rough idea. So your average salary for your UK dentist as a DFT doing your vocational training would be around £32,000 to £35,000. Whilst if you've qualified from the EU, you're looking at, for any general practice, looking at around £50,000 of your starting salary. And that's pretty much every clinic offering you something very similar to that. So honestly, guys, whether you're in it financially or whether you're in it for the sort of well-being of your patients, it will be the best choice you ever make.
Dr. Akaf, thank you so much for that. It has a nice ring to it, doesn't it?
It does, yeah, it does.
Sounds like you had a really good experience. Did you feel prepared when you came back and very confident in yourself in terms of what you'd achieved?
In terms of my clinical knowledge, if I'm being honest, I was more than prepared. Look, whenever you move back to the UK or to a different country, what you're going to realise is that every healthcare system is different. So there's going to be certain things that you won't know about the NHS, for example, like you did about the Bulgarian healthcare system, but it comes naturally over the coming months. Like I said, it's relative to every person. For example, with me, I wasn't exactly a bookworm, but I did try to put in a lot of effort. So I was more than prepared, yeah.
Thank you so much. And one more question for you. What advice, I know, coming from the UK, you must have, been quite nervous about going abroad in itself. What advice would you give students who are thinking about it or who are here tonight, whether it's worth going abroad to study if they can't get into the UK?
Look, like I've touched on it literally just before this, Edmund. Like, it's literally, if you're, look, so back in 2015, when I first mentioned this to my parents, they were really pessimistic, let's say, right? They were like, okay, look, take a gap year out, or for example, just reapply again. I've literally put myself in the deep end, but honestly, looking back now, it helps you so much. Like you said, look, it's financially, you're going to be in a better position, like I just mentioned before, because you're going to get a better contract. Second of all, you're going to make friends from different parts of the world. For example, I got friends from Greece, and I was speaking to one earlier today, and he's working at his mom's practice, and he's giving me hints and tips on how Greek dentistry is different to British dentistry. These little things that you will not get whilst you're in the UK, because most of the students are from England or Scotland or wherever. So these little perks that you do get will stand you in let's say a good footing on the next 10 or 20 years by studying abroad. And let's be honest, look, the British weather's appalling right now. There's been two storms that have hit over the past week, Storm Malik and Storm, I forgot the name of the storm, but I don't know why Malik sticks out. But yeah, look, it's so the food's better, the weather's better, and generally the people are a lot more nice for all in some respects. So yeah.
Thank you. A question that someone's actually put in here is asking whether you're working now, and have you found it difficult coming back with Brexit in place?
Yeah, Brexit doesn't really have an impact on anything. How it normally works is once you get your degree, then you basically need to apply to the GDC, the General Dental Council. For medics, it's your GMC, General Medical Council. That normally takes between 8 to 12 weeks. COVID has maybe a slight impact, probably increased times by about a week or something, but no more than that. And then you need to apply for something called your performer number, and that takes a bit of time as well. That can take between 6 to 12 weeks. So it's from the date where you get your degree, from when you can start working, you're looking at around maybe 4 months or something like that. So you do need to wait a bit of time. But that 4 months you will get back because, so normally your dental foundation year in the UK is 1 year. Your mentorship program is normally 1 year as well. Therefore, you can get an active NHS perform number and you can perform on a sort of NHS patients. But if you say that you've got a 6-year degree, which is a DMD in Bulgaria, 6 years, then you can potentially speak to the local area NHS teams and get your 1 year mentorship program reduced to, let's say, 9 months. So you're not really losing out on any time there.
That's great. Thank you so much. And we can't wait to see how your journey goes back in the UK now.
Appreciate
Now,
it.
thank you. Let's just say, you know, you've managed to get into a medical school or dental school abroad, and you want to have some experiences, especially for the students who are doing medicine. We always advise, you know, throughout the journey that it's always good to have some experiences in the country that you want to practice in. So if you're from the UK, it's good to have some medical electives, perhaps during your summer, or maybe you want to have some during the semester. So to talk a bit about how you can take advantage of the opportunity to do placements or rotations or electives in the UK, I'd like to invite Osman to talk a bit more about this and how you can take advantage of this whilst you study abroad. Osman?
Yeah, thank you, Edmund. So the great thing about medical school is that you get plenty of hands-on experience where you can interact with patients, interact with mannequins, practice basically your practical and clinical skills that you learned from year 1 to 3. From year 4 to 6, you start to practice these, and that's the exciting part where everyone dreams about and thinks about all the time. You know, when you are thinking, you know what, I'm going into medicine because I want to save a life. I want to go into dentistry because I want to alleviate people from their pain, because we all know dental pain is the worst. Making them smile, making them confident about their smile. That patient contact is the best part. It's the most exciting part. And usually universities in Europe would offer that from the 4th to the 6th year, where you have plenty of hospital interactions and plenty of hospital placements. Now, recently, due to COVID, that has been a little bit difficult for most of European universities. So generally what European universities are doing are either using mannequins or to make like a demonstration of clinical skills, or on top of that, offering the opportunity for students to do their clinical rotations in their own home country. As long as you bring with you a proof that you've done it, covered what is required from the university. Let's say they ask you to do 6 weeks of internal medicine, you go and do internal medicine for 6 weeks. You cover the points that the university requires. Some universities have been very open to that idea, doing hospital placements in your country, whether that be USA, UK, UAE, South Africa, wherever you come from. So that's a great thing and a great compromise about their inability to provide maximum clinical rotations and clinical hands-on experience. And this is something we've helped many students with. We've helped a huge number of students with this. Our team finds for students placements, hospitals that are willing to teach, and it's a good opportunity. It doesn't mean that it's better than the university opportunity where you can do on campus the clinical rotations. It's just another opportunity that's available. It's not available at all the universities, but some. For example, in Bulgaria, the medicine years, you can do the final year of medicine. You can do it in a hospital abroad, somewhere in your country, as long as you organize it. Georgia as well, European University of Tbilisi, which Esther spoke about earlier. We'll speak about it a little bit more. These universities have offered that opportunity to students. On top of that as well, in the summer, we can help you with organizing rotations as well to supplement your learning and increase your confidence in clinical skills. The good thing is that at the end, once you graduate, you're going to have phenomenal clinical skills. You're going to be very confident. You're going to make sure that you're going to come into your country as a licensed doctor with all the competent skills necessary to become a very good doctor. All right, back to you, Edmund.
Thank you so much. How long would you say it would be for someone to take up these, I suppose, electives or placements?
So how long, what do you mean? How long does it take to organize?
The timeline. So would you say 6 months or to do it for a few months or a few weeks?
So it depends on you. Now, it's not always free, because when you go to your hospital in your city or country, the hospital is going to kind of want to make an income out of this. So they will have an administrative fee. Generally, it's between 100 to 300 pounds in the UK, and it depends on your country. So as long as the hospital is organizing this and supporting you and helping you, you can do it depending on what you agree with the university. We will help you with this as well. Whether you agree to do it for 1 month, 6 weeks, 6 months, whatever is suitable for you and the university as well. So that way the university is maximizing your education, making sure that you're utilizing every opportunity you can, and we'll be with you. We'll hold your hand and help you, just like we help you with all the other supportive services that we offer, with helping on-ground support and organizing even these rotations.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much, Osman. So we often get asked, so where are the best medical schools for us to go to? And this is a daily question we get. And as I said at the beginning, our goal is to help you find the best medical school to go to. So we do the research for you. From now till the end of this year, our goal is to research. We're very particular with the universities as well, because we want you to get the best medical education. And as you saw, Esther mentioned quite beautifully, yes, the tuition fees are affordable, but she's getting a very, very good quality. So to tell you about the schools that we have and we help with, and we've helped the students go year on year, I'd like to bring in Tom to talk to you about the best medical schools that we offer that teach in English. Tom?
Thank you, Edmund. And yeah, you're absolutely right with that question. I get asked that every single day. Students will say to me, Tom, what is the best medical school? Where is the best medical school? That's where I want to apply to. And it's also one of the hardest questions that we have to try and answer for students, because the reality is there are so many good opportunities in Europe now. You know, in the times that we're living in now, these schools all have access to very modern, high quality facilities, very good teachers. They're all taught in English, up to a very good standard. And again, the hospitals that surround them as well. So when you're doing your clinical years, you'll be using all of the same hospital equipment that you'd be expected to use in the UK. As Dr. Akaf said, in some cases, you'll even be going above and beyond the clinical experience that you would be doing in the UK, because these courses are very hands-on once you've gone through all of the theoretical aspects. So yeah, one of the greatest things here is just the differences. All of these universities, although they have that high quality, they meet all the requirements you need to get back to your country and register, they are all very different in a lot of ways. Now, it could be that you're looking for somewhere with a nice warm climate. Maybe you want somewhere a bit colder. Maybe in terms of finances, you're looking for something very affordable. You know, like Georgia, they offer very high quality medical and dental programs for a fraction of the price compared to the UK and other places. You know, maybe you want to be somewhere that's a bit shorter on the flight. So you might look somewhere like Poland, for example, where from the UK it's very quick to fly to. You know, perhaps you want somewhere where there's been lots and lots of students for a very long period of time. Now that would be somewhere like Bulgaria. They were one of the first countries in Europe to start doing these English taught medical programs. But the variety is huge, which means you can always find something that's going to be suited to you. And then the other thing that you have to worry about, which I'm sure all of you have worried about with your own countries, is the admission. You know, the question is, am I going to get into this? I saw a question pop up just a minute ago. Someone asked, I'm doing an access to medicine course in the UK at the moment. You know, am I going to be able to get into medical school abroad? And the answer is yes. Now, not all of these options will be applicable to you. You know, some of these options will be similar to the UK's grades. You know, you'll need to get very high A levels, you'll need to sit lots of tests, but then there's other ones that they might just ask for a personal statement. They might just ask for your application. They might look at your BTECs, your access courses, all of these different qualifications. There's always going to be options that are suited just towards you, towards what you've achieved, and also towards what you're looking for and looking to get out of a medical degree. Thank you, Edmund. Back to you.
Thank you, Tom. Now, Tom, would you be able to give kind of the listeners tonight an idea whether they can also apply, or if there are any intakes coming up anytime soon?
Yes, it's very, very late for a lot of them now. As you can see, this is the one that we've got left now. They are very streamlined with their applications. We give them a lot of credit for that. You know, when we've got our teams working on these applications, and some of these applications take months and months. The European University, they have a very good knowledge of international qualifications. So the process is very short and very quick. Now you do have to do an interview with them, but it's done over a video call. It's a very friendly interview. I'm sure Esther would tell you, as she went through the interview a few months back when she started in October. But yeah, they do still have some spaces available. Now, with regards to this, I'm sure you're all at different stages in sort of researching and looking into this at the moment. This would have to be done within, well, as you can see there, February the 15th. So you would have to start an application as soon as possible, so we could get all your documents together and get everything ready to send to the university on or before February the 15th. But yeah, it's a good opportunity. And if you're in a gap year, or if you've finished studying for a few years and you want to just jump straight into it, we're here, we're ready to help you. We've got this opportunity here that's still available. So give us a call.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And as someone's saying, yes, it's just over a week until we can finalize the application. So if you are still thinking about starting, it's an opportunity for you to take, and let's have a chat with you. You've got Tom, you've got Dana, you've got myself. We're all here to speak with you and go over, the option that's there for you to take advantage of in March. Now, let's go over some of the universities that we have. So one of the first one, as we're talking about, is the European University. This is a university that a lot of the students have grown to love, and we are very proud of the achievements in this university. And to tell you about, his experience, and he was a student that I dealt with. I remember speaking with him and his family, any concerns that he had, we went through. I'd like to invite Kadi, who is one of the graduate entry students there doing medicine, to tell us a bit about his experience so far at the European University. Kadi?
Hi guys, so yeah, my name is Kadi. I go to European University like Esther does in Tbilisi, and yes, I remember speaking to Edmund as well quite a lot in depth, because I'll be honest with you, I was quite nervous coming abroad to study, because it's quite a hard decision to make, to get your life and uproot into a whole different country, But after coming here, it's been quite a good time, and I can't lie to you, I've enjoyed it so much here so far. Like, I've got my friends with me as well, so Medette and Toby as well. They both went to the same university. So I went to University of Exeter. I did a neuroscience degree. They did medical science. So I'm a graduate entry. I'm on the third year. And coming here, I can't lie to you, it was a big step, because like people mentioned, first of all, you have to first adapt to the language, which is a big difference. But the people here are so friendly. The staff here were quite nice. Medlink helped with quite a lot of stuff as well. And sorry about that. Yeah, and apart from the first initial shock of coming to an area that you can't recognize and you don't know about, it was really, really good. I mean, Tbilisi is a beautiful city. I'll be honest with you guys. It's so much to do, so many things to look at, and so many new people to meet. Bro, don't. And sorry about that, tech connection. Yeah, and when it comes to actually meeting other new students as well, so there's other medical universities here, and other UK students have come, and what they've done is we were able to meet with them and also hang out, and they've told us their experience. And also within our university as well, we met different types of cultural people here as well. And when it comes to the facilities we have here, so labs, OSCE exams, so we do OSCE practical exams that we will learn about in your clinics, which is used like in America, obviously, of course, and sometimes in Europe and some UK universities as well. And they break it down so well. They tell you step by step what you have to do. You have your dummies to demonstrate on. When it came to what Edmund was talking about, and Tom was talking about the university recognizing credits and stuff, they were really good with it. I can't lie to you, they put me on the third year, the fifth semester for my degree, which means I've only got 4 years to do, in comparison to the option I had back in the UK, which was undergraduates for 6 or 5 years. So yeah, I would definitely recommend coming to Europe, coming to do that kind of study. It's really, really good, honest to God. I mean, and also, if you guys have any questions, I will pop in a username. I've got an Instagram page that I've devoted to helping out students who want to come to abroad, or even medical life in the UK, and any students about applications, living, what they might expect. And I also share my life on the daily, so you can see a proper POV for a student's life. No sugarcoat, nothing, straight up what I do every day here.
Oh, that's great. Thank you. And how have you found being there with your friends? Because you were lucky to go with two of your friends.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
some students who, go there by themselves, they'll be nervous about coming. So what
Yeah.
advice would you give those students who are still unsure, and they're coming there, leaving their families and, going there for the very first time?
I can't lie to you, even because I initially was gonna come by myself, but then I spoke to my friends and they were in the same predicament I was in, and then also they convinced to come with me. But even if you come here by yourself, I can't. There's lots of students we met that have come here on their ones. We met them, we talked to them, we can support each other. It's quite a good student community here as well. And it can be a bit daring, but if you're the type of person who likes new adventures and you're looking for an alternative that's actually cheaper in both living and tuition fee costs, as well as another form of education, and also just exploring the world in general. Because I, for example, didn't take a gap year. I went straight into my third year bachelor's, and I always wanted to travel. So coming here, traveling was really good. But I'll be honest with you guys, it's not as scary as it seems. Sorry, everything here is quite easy to find. A lot of people help you, especially the staff here. Like, for example, I live in the dorms here, so the staff here help quite a lot, and they help to support you whenever problems you need, like even finding food and stuff like that. So it's not like you're going to be by yourself. Of course not. You'll make friends like within an instant.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing your experience with
That's
us.
all right.
And hopefully we'll get some more students to join you this year.
100%.
Another student that's also studying medicine in European University is Michelle. Michelle's doing medicine, and I'd like to invite Michelle to come and share with you guys her experience and how she's found studying at the European University. Michelle?
Yeah, hi, I'm Michelle. I'm from Ghana. Yeah, so it's been good so far. I got here a few days ago. I've been studying online since October, and it's actually been good. The school helps with the distance, as I was in Ghana, and the time difference and everything. They tried their best to help me so that I did not have to miss any important things. And coming here too, it's been good. It's been great. I mean, I didn't expect it to be this good. I was expecting to be very lonely, but then everybody has been so nice, and I'm hoping for the best. I'm glad I met Esther, and I'm sure we're going to have more interactions together. But so far, so good, and I'm hoping for the best. The people are friendly, and the food is good. Transport is amazing. Like, everybody just shows you so much love. And Valentina and Nicole have been of great help. Valentina texts me almost every day to find out how I'm doing, and I really like that kind of love that Medlink has shown me since the beginning. It's amazing. I don't have any words to describe it. And if you are thinking of coming here, don't think too much. Just come. It's fun. It's nice. It's an experience. So yeah, you can come. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Michelle. One question for you, Michelle, is how have you found diversity in Georgia?
Well, for starters, I think I'm the only Ghanaian I've met in Georgia. Every other Black person I've seen is from Nigeria. So, well, even the restaurant, there's a Nigerian restaurant somewhere around here, and I'm like, wow. But then my roommate is from Palestine. I've met other people from India and other countries. So there's a lot of international students over here. We all speak English, so it's good for all of us. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you. And we can't wait to see how your journey goes as well.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Michelle. This is the university that we have in Bucharest. And to tell you a bit more about their experience, I'd like to invite Rayan, who is a medical student there, to talk about his experience and his journey going into the university. Rayan?
Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Rayan. I'm 22 years old, and I study at T2 Mărescu University in Bucharest in Romania. Now, it's been quite a journey. I mean, I can't thank Medlink enough for what they've done to basically ensure that I could pursue my career this whole time. But Romania has been a journey. That's to summarize it all. But there's a lot to talk about. So just to sum up the country, Romania is one of the Eastern European countries. It neighbors Bulgaria. I study at a university which is a private university, and it's in the capital of Romania. Now, the good thing with that is that because it's the capital, it's actually a very advanced and developed city. So you can do a lot here, basically. Like you won't be lost for what you want to do in your free time, and that's just scratching the surface of what you can do in Romania. But as a medical university, it has its advantages. Just to give a quick background, I was educated in the normal UK education system up to A level. I applied for all for many universities in England, had offers, but the grades, unfortunately for me, weren't enough in England. But I did know that like I had a few friends who had studied abroad, and I did my research. I found Medlink Students, and they helped me with the whole process. They made everything feel super, super easy because in reality, I wasn't sure what I was doing. I wasn't sure where I was going. I wasn't sure which university to go to, and definitely thanks to Edmund and the team at Medlink, they all helped me narrow down all the choices, give the correct material, and just become prepared to make what may seem like a very big life choice. But ultimately, the agency made it extremely easy for me. Straight away, they gave all the advice that was needed in terms of which universities I was to look at, entry requirements, what I had to do with my documents, was there any entrance exams, material for the entrance exams, etc., etc. And from the moment I stepped off the plane into this country, Medlink was just there for me. They just did everything that needed to be done to ensure that I had a smooth and comfortable transition into life in Romania. Now, the university is very, the teaching of the university that I go to is very in-depth. Very in-depth, and the knowledge is taught to a very, very high standard. We have some absolutely amazing lecturers. I'd say that definitely for the first 2 years we had in terms of the anatomy professors. So for anyone who may study at Titan My Rescue in the future, his name was Dr. Tudor Harshovescu, and I'm telling you that I've not met anyone like him before. His anatomical knowledge is top notch. He is almost unmatched. I'm sure there's many other Eastern European universities, but he's pretty damn good. And it's just when you just have those lecturers that just really, really help you settle in, and really just help with the adjustment phase from transitioning from England to Romania. Having that is really, really important when it comes to adjusting to life abroad. And when you have these good teachers and combine it with meeting some amazing people from around the world, because at the end of the day, these are all international universities, and you're going to have the international lifestyle, which is pretty glamorous, if I'm honest with you all. And studying abroad just opens you up to experiences that you never thought you would do before. And it's just it can be a challenge for a lot of people to overcome, considering that for me, I was moving far away from home. It's about a 4-hour flight, and it is a new country. You're not too sure what you're getting into, but the reality is, with this country, everybody's very nice. The life here is really, really easy, and I probably enjoy my time here more than England now, which not a lot of people can say about moving to universities. Like, it's just there is so much that going to university here has opened up so many avenues and so many experiences that I never thought I would have done before in the past. And it all started from Medlink in reality, and I can't thank them enough to help with helping me to transition here. Just to sum it up, so it is a 6-year course here as well, just like all the other universities. You get a Doctor of Medic, as they call it here, which is a Doctor of Medicine. 3 years of mainly theoretical teaching, and then 3 years of practical teaching. But within the 3rd year, it kind of transitions over. So you're having a bit of both, and then eventually you start to reach your rotations. They have many faculties, and they have many hospitals that they use placements with as well. And yes, it is COVID time right now, but prior to COVID, yes, we were getting a lot of placements, and we were getting the clinical experience needed. You will have to learn the language to some extent, but the language isn't actually that hard to learn, and the university help you with it at the end of the day. So I wouldn't worry too much about that sort of stuff. So yeah, as I said, 6 years, lectures and labs is mainly how it's balanced. Labs are done either at the faculties or at the hospitals, depending on the modules that you do. The level of teaching is very advanced here. I'd say whilst they use traditional methods, you end up learning more. I have a lot of friends in England who've studied medicine, who are studying medicine alongside me as well. They are either in the same year above, year below, and when I speak to them about the content that we're taught here, some of them are like, "What are you talking about?" Because the depth of the level of content that is taught here is so much higher than other universities. I've noticed, like we gain a very advanced level of anatomical knowledge, and it's just stuff like that which just makes you think like the standard of medical education here is really high, and it's recognized around the world. And the reality is, working here can open you up to so many more. Studying here, sorry, can open you up to so many more opportunities as well. With the opportunity of working in America, actually, because they even offer the USMLE here in Romania, and that opportunity is something that can be pursued here. And end of the day, working in America can be a different level as well. And it's just made slightly easier given the relations that Romania has with America and the fact that you can actually take the exam here. Not many countries can offer that. So that's something to think about as well, whether you want to work in, because for a lot of the students, it's a case of studying here and then going back to the UK, and that's perfectly fine. But if you want other opportunities, Romania will give that opportunity as well. So that's just a summary of the education. With regards to living here in the country, for one, like the living costs are pretty low. It is less than the UK. And for how much you're spending, you get the same standard, or if not even better. Like the quality of apartments here for the money is pretty good. And just in general, just traveling and going out and just doing your day-to-day activities just costs a little bit less in the UK, and so it's a bit easier in the wallet, and
Yeah.
just makes things when things are just a bit cheaper, you just get to live a bit nicer. Simple as that.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Rayan, for sharing your experience. And as with everyone, we can't wait to see how things are for you as well.
Lovely,
now,
thank you.
another student who's also studying in Romania, who would like to bring in, who's doing dentistry, and she's obviously had a very kind of good journey from wanting to study abroad, looking at different options, and now obviously settling in Romania. So I'd like to bring in Letitia, who is studying dentistry in Romania. Letitia?
Hi, Edmund. Good evening. Hi. Hello, guys. Hi. Hello, everyone. So my name is Letitia. I'm Italian, but I come from the UK. I'm studying dentistry. I'm on my 1st year, and I'm studying in Craiova. My experience, Yes, so at the beginning I was afraid because I had so many doubts. I knew my journey wasn't going to be easy, but in the end, with the help of Medlink, everything turned out quite easy actually, because they help you in everything. Even when you arrive here, when you get to Romania or wherever you're going, they help you in everything. So they helped me in finding an apartment. They helped me in all of the documents, the translation with the university. So I didn't have any problems at all. And still now, if I have problems, they are there for me. So thank you very much, guys. I just want to thank you. And then, so Romania, it's a nice country. Craiova is a nice city. Everyone here, I agree with Ryan, everyone here is very helpful, and they speak English. So it's very easy if you want to communicate with them. Almost all of them, they speak English. So it's not hard at all. The university, if we talk about the university, the level of teaching is very, very high, as Ryan was saying. I'm on my first year, I'm finishing my first semester. The professors are, all of them, they are very strict. So they wanted to study a lot. But if you have any questions, if you're not sure about something, you can go to them and they take you personally and they try to explain you things as well. So it's very good. So my group is just a small group. We are just 17 people. So we attend the lessons, we talk directly to the professor. And they always help you. We have a group chat on WhatsApp. We have their email addresses. So if you need help, even if you're at home, they always try to help you. They're very good. I was actually very surprised when I first came, because I wasn't expecting it like that. And I'm so happy now because it's the best experience of my life. So I'm very happy. What else? I know the way you feel, guys. It's very hard because that was me last year, actually. I was afraid to start a new journey. I know it's not easy, but you have to believe in yourself. And I know if you're passionate, you will achieve what you are trying to. So don't stop believing in your dreams. Just keep going, and you will see once you get here, everything will be nice, very nice and easy. Romania is such a good country. I'm really loving it. So yeah, I'm very happy about my experience. As Ryan was saying, so the rent is not expensive, let's say. So for example, for my apartment, I pay 250 euros. It depends what you want. But you can even share an apartment with somebody else, so you can pay even less. The bills are extremely cheap. So I think just the bills are 20-30 euros a month. So yeah, that's it pretty much. If you have any questions, I can answer them.
Thank you so much, Letizia. And it's really nice to see that you settled in quite well. Being Italian yourself, obviously living in the UK and going there, how have you found diversity in your city and the university itself?
Do you know what, Edmund? No diversity at all. People, as I said, people here are very, very nice, especially if they see that you are not Romanian, they try to help you. They're very welcoming, and as I said, they speak English, and even if they don't, they take off their phones and they put on the translator. So they're very nice people. They always helped me. I remember when I first came, I was waiting the train on the train station. I was a little bit panicking because, I didn't know the language. I didn't know how to communicate with people. I met a lady and she helped me. So we traveled together. and she told me where I had to stop. She helped me with, I don't know, buying the tickets. She was very nice, and all of them are like that. So very, very nice country.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you so much. We can't wait to see where your journey is. And if you come back to the UK, hopefully we can come to your practice as well.
Yeah, thank you. You're very welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Leticia. So let's move on to another popular country that we also have students apply to, and this is Bulgaria. And to tell you a bit about also his journey of going abroad, studying in Trakia, I'd like to invite Siad to share his journey with us. Siad, are you here? I think he isn't. All right, let's move on from here. There's another student also doing medicine who is also studying in Plovdiv. I'd like to invite Mohammed also to share his experience. Mohammed, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Hello, guys. All right, so I'm going to talk about my experience in Plovdiv. My name is Mahmoud. I'm a second student at Plovdiv Medical University. I'd like to talk about my experiences, as people have already said. So I'll talk about the city itself. And the city is one of the oldest cities in Europe. So you see a lot of artifacts. You see a lot of places to go. For example, is one of the mountains in Plovdiv, which is very beautiful. For example, a lot of students go there. And if you're worried about, for example, being there alone because you're confused and you're worried like I was in first year, don't know where to go, don't worry, because the students from all over the globe are coming. For example, we get students from everywhere. And also, yeah, that's all.
Thank you. And Mohammed, how have you found diversity for you there as a student?
Diversity students come from everywhere. For example, all countries, for example, some Italy, Germany, everywhere, and from Africa, from some Arab countries, they come from everywhere. Yep.
Brilliant. And if there's any advice you give all the students that are watching tonight, and some of them are still worried about going abroad, what advice would you give them?
The advice I give is to put yourself out there, so don't worry, because many students are in the same shoes as you, so you don't be worried. And for a lot of people to help, such as Medlink, I had Edmund to help me in my process. It was very smooth. Anything issues I have there's someone to lean on. And especially Plovdiv is a very welcome city. The locals are very nice, and yeah, there's a lot of activities such as extracurricular. For example, I love football, so there's a lot of football activities I play, and there's other sports like basketball, netball, volleyball. It's not really much you're missing out on.
Wow, you sound like you're having a great time over there.
Yeah.
That's great. Thank you so much. I think we have Siad who's back now. Siad, would you like to come in and share your experience as well?
Yes, of course. Hi, I'm a second year student from Trakia University in Bulgaria, and the city is called Stara Zagora. My experience at first was challenging and nerve-wracking, as it was like a new country, and like I didn't know anyone here, and there was like a language barrier as well. But Stara Zagora, compared to Plovdiv and Sofia, is actually quite a small city, and there's not much to like activities, like nighttime activities and stuff. So I feel like this is better because you can focus more on studying, and you can like everyone is quite close, all the people in Stara Zagora. And also in Stara Zagora, everyone is like walking distance, so you don't have to spend money on taxis and buses, and like you can get to places in like 10 minutes, like maximum time. And the university in Trakia University has some nice facilities. For example, has like sports clubs. For example, it has a cricket team, which I'm part of. It's called Trakia Titans. We play against Plovdiv and Sofia and Plevin as well in Sofia. And we also have like the students in Trakia have made like a basketball team and a football team that we've organized ourselves. And also the students are in Trakia University are really nice, and they give you a tour of the city, and they're just really welcoming. And to be honest, why I wanted to come to Bulgaria in the first place was because I wanted to become independent. And in Stars Go, you become really independent. And at first, I kind of struggled because like I didn't know anyone. But Medlink, they helped with my accommodation, and they gave me a tour of the uni. And the prices are really cheap in Stars Go, especially the rent and the bills and everything. They're all really cheap. Like they're around 350 level for like 1-bedroom apartment. So that's really nice. And yeah.
Oh, brilliant. What is a day-to-day in the life of a medical student like for you?
So I'd say like my schedule so far has been quite free. So usually it's the classes start around 1:30 p.m. and it finishes quite early, actually, like around 5:30. And then after that we have like there's a lunch, there's a lot of restaurants and nice cafes as well that are really close by, so we just go around, have some, and we can nice cafes to study as well. So you know, you can do both at the same time, eat and study. And then go back home, study a bit, and then just have friends, good times with your friends. But I'd say that the most important quality you would need is the balance, like your study life and your free time. Because if you don't, like, then exams will be quite hard.
Oh, that's brilliant. Thank you so much, Yed, for sharing your experience and all the students, and also in Bulgaria. Now, I'd like to invite back our student advisor, Osman, to tell us about one country that we also work with, which is Poland. Osman, are you there?
Yeah, thank you, Edmund. Really nice to hear from our students and to see about your experience and what you've been through. Everyone listening, make sure to ask your questions in the Q&A and we'll answer them for you. Or if you have a question for one of our students, just ask it in the Q&A and one of our superstar students will answer it for you. Really nice to see everyone getting on so well abroad and settling in. Of course, it's not easy coming to a new country, but as you see, everyone's trip was facilitated and supported by our team. So we make sure that you settle in well, get on well wherever you go. A really nice popular destination is also Poland that a lot of students have headed towards recently. And the good thing about Poland is that also there are options where you can get exempted from some subjects, because I've answered some questions as well about that in the Q&A. Lots of students say, I've studied nursing, I've studied biomedical science. Can I get exempted from these subjects? Yes, of course. Now, the course is 6 years usually. There's medicine and dentistry. There's a good diversity there. Like you can study in Warsaw University. Bialystok University is a beautiful university, Bialystok. You can study in Poznan as well, the 4th largest city in Poland. Really good universities there that we help and support students to go to. You can look into this option as well as another alternative. The tuition fees are a little bit more expensive than what our previous students have been speaking about. It's about £10,000 or 11,000 euros or dollars approximately. You study 6 years for medicine, dentistry is 5 years, and you get to experience as well a lot of diversity, a lot of good culture, good quality education as well, just as good as any of the other universities we've been speaking about today. And the next intake for this would be September. So it's really important as well, because all these universities are very competitive. It's really important to apply and look into them now as soon as possible. So you can look at the options, speak to our advisors. They will guide you and tell you more about them and help you with choosing what's best for you. So if you have any questions as well about any of these universities, shoot them at us in the Q&A or even in Poland. You can see here the basic facts about the options in Poland.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Osman. Now, often also we get asked, well, do I qualify? Do I have the requirement? Do I meet the requirements of the university? You go onto the university's website, you might see they've got very vague information, sometimes not even in English. So you get a bit confused and worried, and you're not sure whether you'll fit the criteria of the university. Or once we even start your application, what happens? So to tell you a bit about the admission requirements and how we get your file into the university's admissions office, I'd like to invite our head of admissions, Victoria, who will come in and explain the admission requirements that we have abroad. Victoria?
Hello, everyone. Yes, so as Edmund explained, a lot of the students are exactly very worried about all the entry requirements at the universities, but you don't have to worry about that because this is what we are here for. So a lot of the universities, actually most of them would require a high school diploma or the equivalent in your country's high school system. Most of them would want to see satisfactory grades in basic sciences, which this is the chemistry, biology, physics. Some of them would require you to have English proficiency certificate. This is for the non-native speakers, since they would like to be sure that you would get the most out of your education. Now, some of the universities also have an entrance test. It's very simple. Sometimes it's multiple choice questions or open questions, sometimes combined. However, there are universities that have no entrance tests. For a graduate student, of course, the requirements would be to have a university transcript and English proficiency. Both I and the rest of the admissions team would like you to succeed. So we'll do all the paperwork for you to ease your university admission. We'll translate your documents and legalize them. We'll get you guaranteed acceptance letter, and we'll make sure that you get all the revision materials and help in order to ace the entrance tests and interviews. Our goal is to always help you, which is why we will also assist you with visa application and processing and payment of tuition fees to the university. As I said, we're here to help you throughout every step of the process, and we want to make sure that you will get a place at a medical university abroad. So don't worry about any of the entry requirements, just get in touch with one of our advisors and they will guide you on from there. Edmund?
Thank you so much, Victoria, and thank you for all the hard work you do on a daily basis. What about the students who are sort of like worried about an entrance test or an interview? What advice would you give those students?
So as I said, we know what it's like to be worried about all these entrance tests, but this is why we have prepared all the materials that would help all the students to pass them and to have very high results on them.
Fantastic. And yes, and then to summarize on that also, we prepare you, we give you everything that you need to ace the test. And if it's an interview, we'll guide you through it so you go in very confident to actually ace it, so you can get a chance at the university. I'd like to ask Kadi, who obviously started graduate entry, about how he found the process, obviously going through the admission requirements and what we needed from him. How did you find that process, Kadi?
Sorry, can you say that again? My internet cut out. Was it for the admissions, right?
Yes, that's correct. How did you find the process of going through the admission requirements?
Okay, I can't actually, honestly, admissions was quite a simple process, to be honest with you. Basically, what happened was, it was simple as giving you my transcript, and you were able to get the credit transfer, and you told me what year I'd be starting in potential universities. And as soon as you confirm what choice I wanted, so I picked European University. We sent it off. My interview came, I'm pretty sure, I think like in 2 days, I got the offer of the interview, or 3 days. And with the interview as well, you guys also helped me. You gave me all the questions they asked in the interview, and they asked bang on the same questions. It was easy to prepare. And the interview is basically, can't lie to you, it was more to understand your proficiency in English, rather than, and also to ask about what type of student you'd be as well. They ask you like what type of doctor you want to be, what's your understanding of medicine, things such as that. Similar to like UK, but it was nowhere near the difficulty to UK university interviews that they had. After that was done, I got the reply to my admissions, I think again within like 3-4 days as well. And everything was done quite proficiently, I can't lie. You guys were able to translate everything as well. They just check your passport, for example. And for me as well, personally, there was no entrance exam. And I was able to join straight away. I think for A-level students as well, same thing. They'll just check your the qualifications, make sure it lines up with their requirements, and you're basically in. I'll be honest with you guys.
Thank you so much, Kadi. You make it sound almost so simple. Thank you.
But also, it was pretty simple. Like, it was just straight up. If you got all the stuff that obviously you lay it out quite easy, like you need this, and if you just check the boxes as you go along, it's pretty good.
Yeah,
Easy to get into,
yeah, that's great. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And we'd like to still thank each and every one of you guys for really joining us today. All the speakers have spoken so far. You've really inspired us, and we hope this has inspired a lot of the students who are also thinking about joining and going abroad this year as an option. We're happy to have a chat with you, even if you just want to know what option might be there out for you. Let's have a chat. These calls are free to you. Now, as an organization, we are very, very, very particular with the universities that we work with. The most important thing is we want you to come back to your home country to practice. So we look at the universities that you can go to that allows you to register with any medical council. So here in the UK, we constantly look at the requirements of the General Medical Council to ensure that you can come back with that peace of mind, knowing that you can register without any issues. We check the list regularly. We check the requirements of the GMC. We check the hours. We check everything that is required for you. All the research is done even before you set foot in that country. So to tell you more about how the GMC works and how they check the lists and how we avoid universities that you probably shouldn't go to, I'd like to invite back Osman to tell you a bit more about this. Osman?
Yeah, thank you, Edmund. It's really important for us and for our students always to make sure that you're going to a university that meets the criteria of acceptance set by your country. So, for example, in the UK, the General Medical Council are the people that regulate doctors and their ability to come and practice after they've achieved their degree abroad. So in order for you to go back home and to succeed and not to waste any time when you're abroad and not to study a degree where you're not going to be able to come back home, we always advise you to contact your medical council. We ask you not to take our word for it, to go and speak to the medical council yourself and then verify everything we've told you, because we know that we're always going to be transparent with you, because the most important thing for us is you being able to come back home and practice. Now, we don't mean to scare you or worry you about this, but it's a simple precaution that you should be careful about. There are certain universities that are usually listed on the may or may not be accepted list on the General Medical Council website. Now, some people may tell you, oh, this is a good thing. But actually, in fact, if you look further and you read what's actually on the website, you will see that actually it says that the reason we say that may not be accepted is because these universities don't meet the criteria of acceptance for the GMC, where some of their courses or in some way they fail to meet the criteria of acceptance. So we will always tell you which universities are best to go to avoid this risk. There is no point in risking it where a university is listed as may or may not be accepted. If a university is not listed there and not listed on the universities that we do not accept, there's two lists. One that says universities we do not accept, and one says that universities that we may accept. So again, the reason the GMC lists these universities is because they're not sure about them. So you have to, they've assessed what the university offers, and they've seen that the university does not, in some of their courses, do not meet the criteria of acceptance set by the GMC. Same with any other country. You should always check with your Ministry of Health, Medical Council, Doctors' Chamber, whatever they're called in your country that regulate the doctors and their ability to get a license. So while it says may or may not accept, it's really important to understand that there is a risk that it may not be accepted. So it's best to stay away from such universities, focus on universities that are more established or have had graduates from the GMC, from the country or university that you want to practice in. And universities that meet the criteria of acceptance set by the GMC are usually not listed on this list. The reason being is that the GMC will not go and list every single country and every single university on the planet that they accept. They will just list the ones that students should take think very thoroughly and think in a lot, take a lot of time to think about whether they're worth their time. So this is something to be aware of. You can scan this QR code here to see this page on the GMC list. Now, the GMC requirements are to have 5,500 clock hours, to be listed on the World Directory of Medical Schools, and to have a degree that's at least a minimum of 3 years. So these are some of the main requirements, plus some others that are also listed here on the GMC website. When you scan it, you can check. Scan it, keep the URL, and have a read through it after the webinar so you can learn more about which universities you should be aware of.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Osman. And as you say, we will always check this to make sure that you can come back. We'll do the research for you. But it's also, down to you to check and make sure that you verify things we tell you. You don't have to just take our word for it. We want you to verify, but we'll do the hard work for you. So that it's just easier to verify and make sure that you can come back knowing that that degree you're coming back with, spent all the years doing, you can come back and use it. Now, another thing that most people are asking also in the Q&A is, how do we help? What is the process? How can I get help from Medlink students? And to tell you about our day in a life of how we can help you from the application stage or listening to your story to even going over there and getting the support you need throughout, I'd like to invite back Tom, who speaks to students on a daily basis about how we can help you get the highest chance of getting into medical school or dental school. Tom?
Yeah, thank you, Edmund. So as we mentioned quite early on in the webinar today, we're an organisation that was started by medical students, now medical doctors and dentists, who many, many years ago decided to take the brave move of leaving the UK and going and studying abroad. And they realised it is tough. Studying medicine, regardless of where you're doing it, is going to be very difficult. When you're applying as an international student, there's lots with your documents. You're going to a new country that you're not aware of, how things work or the language. So we've therefore developed and integrated our support and our services around all of these aspects to try and benefit the students as much as possible. So as you can see here, it all starts off with a phone call. So you'll be in contact with myself or Edmund, Dana, one of our advisors. And what we will do is try and have as in-depth a conversation as possible with you about your preferences, your budgets financially, what you're really looking to achieve out of the course and what you're looking to get from it, as well as your academic achievements so far. And from that, we can get an idea of what kind of universities will be suitable specifically for you. And it's always different. For every student, there's always different options out there, different avenues, different things that work for different people. We'll answer all your questions. We tend to have lots and lots of calls beforehand because we understand that this is a huge decision to make. You are investing in your future and your career that you're going to take on, for the majority of your life. And that's why we try to dedicate as much time as possible, have as many calls, answer all the messages that we can to help you make the best decision for your future. Now, from that point, once you've signed up and you've decided, right, this is the university for me, this is where I want to go, then it goes on to the admissions. So obviously my colleague Victoria spoke about this beforehand. So we ensure that all your documents are done correctly. All the legalizing, the translating, all the boring, complicated parts that can cause quite a headache to try and work out. We have specific teams there in place to sort all of this, to check and verify everything and make sure that everything's sorted for you. We also provide you with tailored materials that again are built on years of experience with doing entrance tests, interviews. We monitor personal statements, every little thing that we can do just to give you the best possible chance of success into the university that you have chosen yourself. Now, from that point onwards, it's all about that on the ground support. So we'll be picking you up from the airport. We'll be helping you to set up a bank account, find accommodation, get a SIM card, and all the other little things that would usually be quite daunting to do in a new country by yourself. From there, we'll always be keeping an eye on you, and we'll always be available if you need us. You can get in touch with us. We've got teams all across Europe that are on the ground there to support you, to make sure that you have a successful journey from day one up until you graduate. And also from that point forward, we'll also be helping you once you do graduate. You know, when you're wanting to go and register, we'll give you all the support that we can to make sure that you can kickstart your career as a doctor or a dentist and have all of that success from there.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Tom, for that. And it's great to see all the work that, you know, we put in on a daily basis that we can help as well. And to add to this, a lot of organizations, obviously, who talk about the same things that we do in terms of, yes, we'll pick you up. Yes, we'll do all the great things. We'll look after you whilst you're there. But you find that you get there and there is no one at the airport to wait for you. And what we do differently is we are always available for you throughout. You know, you might have a pressing question at 10 o'clock at night and you feel, okay, I need to speak to Tom, I need to speak to Edmund, and we'll be available to speak with you. You know, we have people ringing us 12 o'clock at night because they're working all day and they have a question that's been on their mind, they have a concern. And so the one thing that we do is we always want to be available for you and to make sure that you have that support that you need from the beginning to make the right decision for you, to when you're there, to when you come back to the UK. Now, another thing we get asked is, how much are these tuition fees? Because you're going to be self-funding them. And we have to ensure that, you know, you have an option that is more suitable for your budget. And one thing as well, as you'll see on there, the tuition fees varies from anything from €3,500 all the way to 20,000, and they vary. Now, one thing to add is that just because the tuition fees are lower than the 20,000 doesn't mean that you're compromising yourself in the quality. The reason why the tuition fees are quite low is because the country there is more accustomed to fees like this. So you'll find the living costs are low, but you're still getting a good quality of education whilst you're there. From the likes of Georgia to the likes of Poland, where tuition fees ranges from 9,000 all the way to 15,000 per year. And so we look for the right universities where we make sure that you also are paying a good amount for you, because you're going to self-fund these. And so this is a question that we get asked, and we want to make sure that, you know, looking at these, the living costs can range anything from 300 to 500 or even to 1,000 sometimes, depending on where you are, which country you are. But you won't be compromising the quality at all. Now, another thing that most people are worried about is, yes, I've finished the degree, but what happens? Can I use the degree? Are they recognized? Can I go to the US, for example? I'd like to bring back Osman, who also advises students on this, about, you know, whether or not they would be able to use the degrees globally.
Yeah, thank you, Edmund. A lot of students have been asking us about our own students' university experience as well. So thank you for asking these and for checking as well. Is the European University of Tbilisi, for example, is the degree from there recognized in the EU, in Europe, in the USA, and so on? I'd like to reassure students that all the universities we work with and that we will tell you about and guide you to will be recognized, of course. We will always warn you and explain to you any risks that are involved with any universities that you go to that may have, like, being on the maybe list, for example, of the GMC. So the universities that you will be going to will be recognized. They are listed in the World Directory of Medical Schools, which is a directory by the WHO. This is a directory for all medical schools, and usually is one of the requirements of medical councils across the world. So you'd be pleased to know that the universities are recognized in the country that they work in, which is also important. So when you graduate, you'll receive a diploma. A diploma means a certificate, by the way. Just in Europe, we use the word diploma. Students get confused sometimes. So diploma means certificate, means degree. It's the same word, it's just different ways of saying it. So you receive a medical diploma or medical certificate as a doctor in that country, and then you will use that to apply for the medical council in your country, and we'll help you and guide you with this process, as we've done it for many, many other students like you who have gone through the process and successfully returned back to their countries so far. We have students from all over the world, every single corner of the world. We've had students from, we have students from the UK, Australia, USA, Ireland, Canada, New Zealand, India, Brazil, everywhere we have had students. So you'll be glad to know that we're going to be guiding you to good universities that will be recognized in your country. Coming back home is usually something that is really important for you to consider, and is actually the most important thing and the number one most asked question. When considering coming abroad, the most important thing for you is to be able to come back home and practice as a doctor. And of course, for us as well, this is a top priority, so we can make sure that you are able to. We will always give you all the information you need to know in order to make an informed decision on what's best for you. So you can come back home, practice as a doctor in your home country, get a job. As you know, a lot of students always ask, will I be able to compete against doctors who graduated from my country? For example, if I'm, let's say, American and I want to come back to America. Same with the UK. You'll be, well, I'm sure you know, a lot of doctors come from overseas countries. A lot of countries suffer from, especially with COVID, they suffer from the shortage of doctors in their country. And this is really important. So what they do is they try to bring and allow immigrants from, let's say, India, Pakistan, Nigeria. There's plenty of doctors from these countries specifically that come to the UK and practice successfully and get a license successfully. And they go on to become consultants. I'm sure you've all seen them in any other country as well across Europe. Lots of people from other countries come and practice as doctors. Is straightforward. There's two routes. If you're from the EU and you want to practice in another EU country, as long as you speak the language of the country and as long as you pass a basic exam to check that your medical knowledge meets the criteria and the standards of that country. And usually, as long as you graduated and passed all your exams, you can ace this exam. It's not a big deal. The reason people struggle with this exam is because English is not their first language, for example, or let's say in Germany, German is not their first language, because they have the medical skills. Every medical school will teach you, or all the ones that we tell you about, will teach you all the essential medical basics and the foundations of becoming a competent doctor. So you'd be pleased to know that you would be able to pass an equivalation exam or a registration exam, whatever it's called in that country. And then if you graduated, that's EU graduates going to EU countries, they don't have to do an exam. However, since the UK has left the EU, it's not considered EU anymore. So usually if you graduate from a non-EU country, like let's say European University in Tbilisi, you would have to do a basic exam. It's called a PLAB exam at the moment, or a UK MLA exam starting from 2024, yes. So starting from that year, the GMC, the Medical Council, will introduce such an exam. And again, it's a very similar kind of structure. And currently, actually, what we're doing is holding classes to prepare students for these exams. So as long as you have the medical foundation, you just need a little bit of exam technique to know how to approach a OSCE situation or a clinical situation. And we provide all this information. We support the students with it. We even allow year 1 students to join, but not many do. So most of the students from year 4 to 6 join these classes with UK doctors, UK consultants who teach them. And I'm really happy to see that students have loved these classes. They've really enjoyed them because they get to experience what it's like to learn clinical skills from another perspective. Even though they get plenty of hands-on experience and clinical skills from their country, whether that be Bulgaria, Georgia, they get plenty of experience. It's good to get a different perspective as well. All right, thank you, Edmund.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Osman, for that knowledge. And it's time for some questions, some Q&As. You guys have been asking fantastic questions, and I think it'll be good to go through some of them live, and I'll go through them individually, and feel free for the guys also to add in any other questions that you think we should answer. The questions that have actually been coming in, the most commonly ones has actually been about the PLAB exam. And this is the licensing test that you take when you come back to the UK. And to tell you about the process, because the questions that are being asked is, if I sit the PLAB, do any other exam in the UK, can I start registering as a doctor? I'd like to invite Dana, who speaks for students about the process of coming back to the UK, to help clarify this and answer this. Dana?
Yes, thank you, Edmund. Actually, this is a very common question. Many students currently are asking about the PLAB exam, and they want to know what the updates are after Brexit. So what students usually know is that before Brexit, students who came from EU countries were exempted from the PLAB. And now after Brexit, GMC has introduced a new exam, which is the UK MLA exam. It'll be introduced in 2024, and yes, every student will have to take the UK MLA exam. And part of our services is helping students prepare for this exam. It's a qualification test where even doctors graduating from the UK will might be doing this exam. So it's going to be a common exam. Everyone's going to be doing it, and we'll be supporting you with that.
Fantastic.
Does that answer the question, Edmund?
I think that was it. That was what most students were asking.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of applying this year, Tom, when would you say, students to start speaking with us and looking at applying for perhaps students that are still in their final year of A-levels and maybe didn't get shortlisted for an interview in the UK? When would you say to start looking at applying?
It's a very good question. So all of these different universities typically all have their own deadlines, their own timelines, their own processes. One general rule that we always say is the sooner you can start an application, the better. Now, this gives you more time to prepare for exams. It gives us and our teams more time to legalize, transport your documents, make sure everything's in order. You have to bear in mind as well that some of these universities work on a first come, first served basis. For example, places like Dentistry, we're seeing run out of spaces faster and faster every single year, with the increase of students from places like the UK, the US, Canada, Australia, Africa, all over really, just to name a few. More and more students are applying, more and more students are hearing about this opportunity and they're wanting to take it, as soon as they can. So it's always a good idea, as soon as you're confident and as soon as you're thinking, yeah, this is the university for me, what I would say is don't hesitate. Once you've made that decision, spend a lot of time, don't rush the decision. It's a big decision for you to make, and we're all here to help you make it. And to answer all of your questions and concerns about these various different countries, universities and programs. But once you've made that decision, it's good to get a start. Sometimes applications can take months for us to develop everything in time. Other instances, they can take just weeks. So best thing to do is to give one of our advisors a call, have a discussion about it, find out what the specific timeline is for the university you're interested in. And then we can obviously get started and make sure you've got the best possible chance for success. Oh yeah, sorry, one other thing just quickly. I can't remember if I mentioned it then, but for anyone who's wanting to throw themselves straight in at the moment, we have only got about a week left to take in applications for the European University in Georgia, and this is the only one left now. With this winter March intake, as the other ones have either used up the spaces or we've gone past the time that we've been able to apply to now. So European University of Georgia for March, if any of you are looking for a sooner application. In terms of September, you do still have time for most universities. So as I know, a lot of you will be getting through your A-levels, focusing on your exams and things like that. you do have time now. If you give us a call, we can still sort those out for you with most of the universities that we work with. All right, thanks, Edmund.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that, Tom. We'll take one more question, actually, that's also been in the Q&A. And this is a question for Cardi, who's studying in Georgia. Is that our classes online because of COVID and our practical classes now in person?
Yeah, so since the start of the semester, since like we started, clinical classes have always been online, offline, and classes are online. And what a recent thing happened though, because we had a big COVID outbreak at the university, they made the exams online as well for the online classes. But before that, our midterms, well, I'm on an intensive course, which means I'm doing some modules twice as fast. Those finals and midterms were offline, but now everything apart from the clinical stuff is online.
How have you found the practical classes?
They're really good. You go in just like small groups. You have about 10 to like 11 people. We meet every Friday. They go for run for about 3 hours or so. They first break down the theory, and then they show you the practical, and then you do it yourself. And we do the OSCE examinations here, so they show you like the OSCE way, like what you have to do. Like obviously, the first thing is you wash your hands, stuff like that. You know, each time before you do anything. Each class they go through stuff from previous class as well, and then make sure that you're up to date for the exams and stuff.
Ah, fantastic. Thank you. What advice would you give the students who are wanting to come this year? What would be your kind of advice, one advice for them?
My advice for sure would be definitely like take your time to research, especially if you're A-level students, because you guys have got time to research. Like research, because your country is the country you pick to study is also with your personal preference of what you like to do as a person, also what your culture as well. That can make a big impact where you go. So make sure you take time to research. But I can't lie to you, if you guys are thinking about going abroad, it's honestly not as nowhere near as scary as people think, and it's definitely a great option to come to.
That's great. Thank you so much, Kadi.
No problem.
So we would like to really thank each and every single one of you guys who've been here, the speakers, the students. You guys have really been inspiring tonight. And, you know, we can't really wait to see your journey, and we're going to be with you every step of the way anyway. We also like to thank every single one of you who spent, the last almost 2 hours with us. And we really want to thank you for coming and spending the evening and listening to the advice, and hopefully this would inspire you to take that journey abroad. We're always a phone call away. You can drop us an email. We're here for you every other time. I remember the students like Amy messaging us very late, because she was nervous about something. And so we're always here for you. And if you're a parent and you want to have a call with us, we're happy to do that as well. Speak with you, find out the best option. And like Cardi said, the environment is very important. So we want to make sure that you're in a perfect environment that suits you, so you have the peace of mind, and you're going to make friends there for life. We'll find you the perfect universities. Give us a call. And also don't forget to scan the attendance for tonight and get your certificate. And if there's any last words, I'd like to invite Tom, who's one of the student advisors, and he's going to kind of give any students or parents listening tonight any advice, any final advice for wanting to pursue this and taking that step, which seems to be one of the things that all the students that we've spoken to tonight have done. They took that step. Tom.
Yeah, thank you, Edmund. And thank you everyone for joining us this evening. It's been really nice. And thank you especially to the students. I look forward to it every single month when we do these webinars, just to hear of all these incredible stories and how everyone's experiencing things, and things that they never thought they'd ever get to see studying abroad and experience, and how it's allowed them to develop as people. It really is great to hear from our point of view that we're helping you to get in that opportunity. I was actually just having a look through on the Q&A section here, and there are so many more questions, and so many of you guys have asked a lot of questions, which is great, to have all of that curiosity. What I would advise is, I think if we go through and answer them all now, we'll be here for most of the night.
The questions have been amazing, haven't they? It's
overwhelming
just looking at them all. It's been fantastic.
And I'm having to try hard not to go through and answer all of them now, because I really want to help. What I would say to anyone who's got any more questions is copy them, write them down now, and get in touch with one of ourselves as an advisor. If you're currently paired up with an advisor, you can send them a message. I'm sure you've got their number on WhatsApp, so you can send a message over for them. And at the same time, if you haven't come through to us yet, you can go and click the apply button on our website. It is all free advice. We don't charge for anything like that. You can have as many calls, as many questions as you like. Our time is yours to help you make the best decision for studying abroad. So thank you to everyone for attending this evening, and we look forward to having a conversation with you all. Perhaps this time next year, it will be yourself on this webinar talking to everyone else about your experience, and we can all enjoy listening to that and how much you've progressed. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Tom. And I think to add to that as well, what really excites us here is the amazing, reaction on the students when they get accepted abroad. And we get excited with you guys, and we can't wait to see you guys abroad and see you in Europe and, doing big things over there, like all the students that we've spoken to tonight. And it all starts with just that step. Let's just have that conversation with you. You might be thinking, or you may have reapplied a few times in the UK, and, there are options that we can look at abroad for you. So as Tom said, we love this. This is all we do. We are here for you and here for you every step of the way. So all it takes is a phone call, and we can even have a video call with you, whichever is easiest for you, because your success will be ours. And we will make sure that you come back as a doctor, very confident, and as a dentist as well. Thank you so much for tonight, and see you on the next one. See you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you everyone for joining, and thank you for our amazing students as well for volunteering and giving their time as well to you all who watched and gave your time. And I'm really excited to support you with this journey. I really hope that you do pursue it and that you do take that leap of faith. Thank you everyone for taking the time to listen to us and asking us loads of questions. I wish we could answer all your questions. We tried our best to answer as many as we can. I really hope you would be brave and courageous enough, because trust me, the best advice you can have is just go for it. You're young, you're full of energy, you're full of life. You can experience so much abroad that you wouldn't be able to experience in your home country. You'll grow, you'll become much more independent, much more experienced in so many things. So great job taking that initial step and listening to this webinar and staying until the end. We really hope that we have helped you. With the certificate, you can leave us some feedback as well, so we can continue to improve and give you more information and more support always. We're here for you. Whenever you need us, all you have to do is pick up the phone, call us, or apply on our website, and we'll get in touch with you as soon as we can, because we are even more thrilled than you are to help you on this journey, help you become amazing doctors, and then come back home, practice, make your family proud, make your community proud, and make yourself proud, most importantly. Thank you for joining again, and take care. Have a good evening.